They called it the plant of the gods, a sacred key whispered through time, passed hand to hand by mystics, shamans, and seekers of hidden realms. But what if the smoke doesn't just rise? What if it summons? What if this familiar green leaf is far more than a tool for relaxation, and instead a portal, one that opens not only the mind but the spirit to worlds unseen? In this journey, we'll uncover the ancient spiritual use of cannabis that has been veiled in mystery and forgotten by modern minds. From lost civilizations to mystical texts, from divine connection to dangerous detours, we'll explore what few dare to speak of. This isn't a story of weed, it's a revelation. Long before it was a commodity, cannabis was a sacrament. In the ancient Vedic scriptures, particularly the Atharva Veda, it was named one of the 5 sacred plants, believed to house a guardian angel. In Chinese Taoist texts, mystics like Ge Hong described herbal mixtures containing cannabis that allowed the soul to dream beyond the veil. And in the shadows of the ancient Middle East, some scholars argue it was part of the anointing oils used in early Judaic rituals, a secret ingredient to commune with the divine. To the Sufis, it symbolized the paradox of intoxicated clarity. To the Rastas, it became a sacrament of rebellion and reconnection, a way to speak with Jah through the smoke of Babylon. But as empires rose and dogmas hardened, the spiritual use of cannabis was suppressed. The plant that once opened the third eye was now viewed as a threat to control, a bridge to freedom too dangerous to leave intact. What was once divine became taboo, not because it lost its power, but because it still held too much. Cannabis is not the destination, it is the doorway. When inhaled with reverence, not routine, this plant can act like a spiritual mirror. It lowers the volume of the external world and amplifies the inner voice. But that voice is not always gentle. It reveals what we hide, our suppressed fears, our buried desires. The ancient sages warned, all altered states are invitations, but not all guests are welcome. You see, consciousness is like a temple, and cannabis, when used without preparation, throws open the gates. This is why some feel divine peace, and others anxiety, paranoia, or emotional collapse. They are not side effects. They are revelations of the unresolved self. Carl Jung called it the shadow, the part of us we deny. And cannabis, in its spiritual form, drags the shadow into the light, demanding we face it. It's not about getting high, it's about getting honest. But here's the paradox. A portal doesn't choose where it leads. You do. There's a reason sacred plants were once reserved for initiates. In ancient temples, no one entered the inner sanctum without purification, because altered states are not toys. They are thresholds. Cannabis can open your perception, but to what? That depends on your intention, your state of mind, and the energetic space you occupy. Just as a dirty mirror reflects a distorted face, an unprepared mind may invite more confusion than clarity. Many believe cannabis is inherently spiritual, but the truth is more complex. As Osho once said, anything can become a meditation, and anything can become a drug. Used unconsciously, it can become an escape, a false transcendence that mimics growth but avoids responsibility. It can blur the ego, yes, but without discipline, it also weakens the will. And the spirit world is not just filled with light. It contains tricksters, echoes, and entities that feed on confusion. This is why mystics like Dion Fortune warned of energetic breaches opened by careless use. Cannabis doesn't guarantee enlightenment. It amplifies who you are when you enter the gate. If cannabis is a portal, then how do we walk through it? With clarity rather than confusion. First, set intention. Never light the plant in haste or habit. Sit with it. Speak to it. Ask, what do I seek to see within myself? Ancient shamans would fast before ceremony. You don't need to go that far, but mental, emotional, and environmental preparation are everything. Second, create sacred space. Dim lights, silence noise, clean the room, burn incense or sage. This is not about aesthetics. It's about signaling to your psyche that this is a ritual, not recreation. Third, journal or meditate immediately after. The messages may be subtle, symbolic, or strange, but like dreams, their power fades quickly. Write what you see, feel, and fear. And finally, moderation is mastery. The path of wisdom is not daily escape, but mindful return. If used too often, the portal stops opening. It becomes static, dull, hollow, Remember, the magic is not in the plant. It's in the presence you bring to it. Cannabis can be a key, a mirror, a test, even a teacher, but it is not the destination. Used with reverence, it may open doors to insight, healing, and deep inner work. Used carelessly, it may lead to illusion, dependence, or spiritual confusion. The spirit world is not a fantasy, it's a frequency. And every plant that opens a gate demands responsibility from the traveler who enters. So the real question is not, should I use it? The question is, am I ready to see what it shows me? If this awakened something in you, share your thoughts in the comments or your own journey. And remember, true clarity comes not in the smoke, but in what remains after it clears.